else
No,
is,
a duality.
does not exist.
That's right, that's right. That's right, that's the way you're posing it. That's right, absolutely right. That is the way you're posing it. Now the question is whether that represents Plotinus. Because, in other words, what you're saying makes a great deal of sense. All right? Now we have to see whether that is what he's saying and whether he can escape what conclusion we would draw.
That's what I was asking. So my question is, on one hand, it does seem as though he's saying that, but on the other hand, it seems as though he talks about the soul, being, intelligence, and even man.
Yes.
As if man, soul, being, and intelligence have real being.
Well, okay, hold on. They have being, but all right, see, what you want to say is they have a derived being from being. Soul has a derived being from being. Put it this way, all right? See, notice the way we have this, all right? All existence, everything in this room that's visible. If you are right here at the time, in this experience, this would not be known to you. All that would be known would be this. There isn't any opposition. There isn't any opposition. Only when you step out of it and make comparisons, but in it there's no opposition. When you talk about the nature of the one itself, all right, one comes to one startling realization, and that is the source of this. Now, I don't think there's any way logically you can ever bring anybody to see that. I mean, it's just, I'd like to have someone devise an argument where they might be able to show it, but from this, the one, to be able to explain how the overflowing, as it were, of the one produces this, and how this in turn is responsible for the existence of soul and the everyday world in which we live, I think it's easier to talk about the lower steps than the transition from the one to this. Well, it's astonishing. I mean, that's all. That's fundamentally astonishing. Now, let me go back to that, all right? Just as in this experience, all existence is no longer in opposition, it's not even part of one's experience. In the same way, when one reaches this, curiously enough, that does not wipe out all of this. It doesn't exclude it. See, the important concept that we want to see is in the discussion we had a short while ago from our colleague, right, who was talking about this word nothingness. Right? What is so important about the one? What is it? The only thing you can say about it, the only one thing you can say about it, is that whatever that is, anything that is a one, that's one. That's pure one. That's the one. And let me go further. I don't think there's any way in which it can be explained. I have tried. See if I can do this way, make it clear even to myself. All right? Let us get, as if we can, the purest description of the one. What is the relationship between that and any particular thing we call a one? There is only, see, and we might be able to grade these things. We might be able to grade them as possessing more or less of oneness. And you know what we're going to come up with? Just that one statement, which is quite astonishing. Everything that is called one has a unity proportionate to its nature, sharing in unity either more or less according to the degree of its being. So you can rank these things and you can see they have more or less unity depending upon their being. But the thing that we want to talk about is what is the connection between this and this? And there's only one possible connection that I know of, and that is in this experience, it is one. It is one. You can talk about it. Splendor, luminous, radiance, divine luminosity. Hey, you know what? It's one. It's continuous. It's one. One ocean, one of this. It's a one. 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 The most profound one. It's a one. That's right. You can say about it. It's one. By gosh, it's one. Now that's the connection you can make between these two. That's the highest degree to which anything can be said can participate in unity as being. That's this, when it's experienced. That's a oneness. Why is it a oneness? Because there is nothing in it that you can find distinctions within it, though you can find aspects of it on analysis. It is a homogeneous, as it were, oneness with dynamic aspects. Well, that's a very profound oneness. See, being is a oneness. And if you have been exploring philosophy, talking about the nature of one, the most disillusioning thing to come to, if you're in this game, is to have this experience and realize it's not the one. It is a one, and a oneness. Therefore, you have to go beyond it.
Is that, like in the Book of the Dead, when they talk about the Dharmakaya? Is that the...
Well, the Chikai Bardo playing, or I should just the Bardo, where Bardo is playing, all right, is this experience, all right? But the Dharmakaya is the unity of this, let me call that L, all right, or the light, all right, and pure awareness. So that in this experience, they're saying, hey, you know what's present? Awareness. The unity, being able to identify the unity of these two, that's the Dharmakaya. Kaya, body, Dharma, the body of truth.
So that sounds like a one. Is that
Well, see here, that's a stage between these two. Because this is a unity, right? Necessarily it's a unity. And they talk about the inseparable pure awareness and the divine luminosity as the Dharmakaya. So a Platonist would come along, or from Plotinus, and say, that's a very profound experience. By the way, I can locate it between this and this, which is